Today is all about some coastal photography when the wind blows. It's a windy day. I'm in a sheltered bit just at the minute, so I'm out of the wind, but I've come out to see what the wind is doing to the sea, because I'm hoping it's going to pick up some nice waves, and I'm going to try and photograph them. It's not the first time I've done wave photography on this channel, almost certainly won't be the last. Well, I hope you'll enjoy it anyway. If you do, and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again. So I've come out today because it's a breezy day or a windy day. In fact, we've got high wind warnings for several parts of this area, although where we are now it's only kind of like a yellow warning, so it's not too bad. I was hoping that the wind would create some interesting seas, some nice waves. To be honest, we're not going to get the kind of dramatic waves you get on some of the Atlantic coastlines. We just, the sea and the coastline here is just wrong for that. But we can still get some nice stuff, and with some creative composition, we can try and make the best of the waves that we have got. And that's what I want to do today. I've come out to this location. I've been here quite a few times. Big rock on the beach here. There's some other rocks around. It's kind of mid-afternoon at the moment, but I'm thinking the time to be shooting this is probably fairly soon, while we've got some light on the scene, because once the sun dips down, it's going to start to get quite flat here. But I'm hoping there's some stuff to be done. So I'm going to be shooting probably almost exclusively telephoto, and I'm going to be shooting handheld. I haven't even brought a tripod with me today, because I knew what I wanted to do, the kind of images I wanted to get. Whoa, let's see, here goes we've hit a gust of wind. I knew the kind of images I wanted to get, and that's going to mean fast shutter speeds, so no point in bringing a tripod. So let's get on and see what we can do. So the thing about this kind of photography is it's about anticipation and reaction. Pays to spend a bit of time just watching the waves, trying to see if you can work out how a large swell further out corresponds to a bigger break, and whereabouts that break is likely to happen. Doesn't always work out, but it's always worth a try to do that, trying to get an idea. And then it's a case of looking to see how you can compose if you get a break where you think it's going to be, and then waiting for the right looking wave to come in, quickly composing the shot. I tend to pre-focus on the area that I think I'm going to need to have, and then take the shot, or actually take a number of shots, because I think using high-speed continuous shooting is the best way to go for this. The last time I did this kind of wave photography, I focused almost totally on the waves themselves. Today what I want to do is get the waves hitting some of the rocks here. There's some rocks over in that direction, and then of course we've got the big rock here, and a bit later on there's some rocks over that way, which is a little bit too bright at the moment. taken quite a lot of shots over that way, and what I'm noticing is the wind does seem to have dropped a bit, so the waves aren't quite as strong as they were. I'm hoping that there's going to be enough wave action over that way when that sun just moves across a bit more, because there's some really nice rocks over there that could look pretty good with waves breaking around them if I can get it. Once the sun has just gone around a little bit, I want some light on the water, but I don't want the sun creating too much glare, because otherwise it's just an impossible exposure. Okay, the sun is kind of just moving across out of the scene a bit more now, so I'm going to see what the exposure looks like and see whether it's workable or whether I've got to wait a little bit longer. I'm thinking that might work. It's about 1/640th of a second, which is really catching the textures in the water. And it looks like the histogram is good enough that I'll be able to pull a bit of shadow detail out. So it's probably very difficult to tell, but there's some nice jagged rocks just down in the foreground here, and then some more further out, and the waves are kind of breaking over the top of them. And what I'm thinking of doing is kind of lining them up across the scene, maybe with a bit of sky, which probably isn't that interesting because there's no cloud in it, but with some light on breaking waves, that might look quite interesting. So I'm going to give it just a few more minutes for that sun to go round, take a little break, and then have a look and see if I can get some shots of that. Okay, another composition that might work here is using this rock that sticks out here, and then the one that's kind of isolated on its own. This one over to the right slightly, this one over to the left slightly, and try and get it with waves kind of breaking around both of them. Okay, I think that's it for me. The battery on the camera is getting rather low and I've taken a load of images. And the problem is when I take a load of images, it takes me forever to go through and actually sort out which ones I want to do something with. But I'm hoping that the waves, even though they perhaps weren't quite as big as I was hoping they were going to be, if I've got the angles and everything else right and with the rocks, hopefully there should be some quite nice ones in there. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like, shares and comments, always appreciated. If you've enjoyed this video and you're new here and you want to see more of my stuff, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye.